Shocking! History of Amish society. Have you ever wondered how a group of people can live without electricity, cars, or modern technology in the 21st century? The Amish are known for their plain dress and rejection of many conveniences of modern life. But how did they come to be this way? What are the origins and beliefs of this fascinating culture? In this video, we will explore the shocking history of Amish society, a Christian group that follows a strict and simple way of life. Do you know who the Amish are? They are a group of Christians who live in Northern America. They mostly belong to a church called the Old Order Amish Mennonite Church. Their church started a long time ago, in the late 1600s, when they followed a man named Jacob Ammon. The Old Order Amish are different from most people because they don't like to change or use new technology. They don't have cars, phones, computers, or TVs. They like to keep things simple and old-fashioned. Have you heard of Jacob Ammon? He was the leader of a group of Christians called Mennonites in the late 1600s. He had some very strict ideas about how his followers should live and worship. He said that if someone did something wrong, like lying, they should be kicked out of the church, and no one should talk to them. He also said that they should wash each other's feet, wear the same kinds of clothes, not cut their beards, and not go to the other churches. He tried to make peace with the other Mennonites who disagreed with him, but he failed. So he and his followers became a separate group called the Amish. The Amish moved to different places in Europe, but they faced a lot of problems there. So they decided to come to North America in the 1700s. They settled mostly in Pennsylvania, where they still live today. But not all Amish agree on everything. Some of them wanted to change and try new things, like cars and phones. Others wanted to stay the same and keep things simple. They split into different groups. Some of them even joined the Mennonites again. The ones who stayed the same are called the Old Order Amish. They are the most traditional Amish group. They are about 250,000 of them living in different parts of the United States and Canada. They live in small communities called districts, where everyone knows each other. They don't have churches, but they meet in their homes for worship. They have their own leaders, like bishops and preachers, but they don't have any big organizations or missions. They just try to live according to their faith and their customs. What do the Amish believe, and how do they live? They have some important values that guide their lives, such as humility, family, community, and separation from the world. They have a set of rules that they follow, called the Ordnung, and they avoid people who break those rules. They have the same religious beliefs as the Mennonites, but they have their own way of worshiping. They meet in their homes and barns, not in churches. They speak a special language that's a mix of German and English. They read the Bible and another book that tells the stories of their ancestors who died for their faith. They also have a newspaper that connects them with other Amish and Mennonite communities. The Amish are known for their simple clothing and lifestyle. They make most of their clothes themselves, and they don't wear anything fancy or flashy. The men and boys wear black hats, dark suits, pants with buttons on the sides, shirts with no collars, and black shoes. They don't shave their beards after they get married, but they don't grow mustaches either. The women and girls wear bonnets, long dresses with capes, shawls, and black shoes and stockings. They pin their clothes with pins or snaps, not buttons. They never cut their hair or wear jewelry. Their clothes are like the ones that European peasants wore in the 1600s. They wear them because they don't want to change with the times. They respect their traditions, and they think that the Bible tells them not to be like the world. Do you know what the Old Order Amish don't use? They don't use phones in their homes, but they sometimes share one with their neighbors. They also don't use cars. They ride bikes and drive buggies with horses, but they might get a ride from someone else if they really need to. Their buggies are not all black like you might think. Some of them are white, gray, or even yellow, and that's how you can tell which group they belong to. Their buggies might have some things that make them more comfortable, like heaters, wipers, and soft seats. But they don't use electricity because they think it will make them too worldly and ruin their community and family life. They only use it if they have to, like for some farm machines or for safety reasons. They use gas instead to run their appliances and lights. The New Order Amish are different. They allow electricity, cars, and phones in their homes. The Amish are great at farming. They grow and store most of their foods and only buy things like flour and sugar from the stores. The Old Order Amish don't like to use modern machines on their farms. They think it's better to work hard than rely on easy things. They use other ways to power their machines, not electricity. The Amish are famous for their barns. They build them together with hundreds of men helping and women cooking for them. Their barns are a sign of their tradition, community, industry, and craft. They also have hex signs on their barns. They are round shapes with different colors and patterns. They are supposed to keep evil away. They are part of the culture of the Pennsylvania Dutch. The Amish don't mind if you take pictures of their way of life, but they don't want you to take pictures of them. They think that's against God's commandments. That's why their dolls don't have faces either. They also don't play musical instruments because they think that's too worldly and not humble enough. Humility, modesty, and informality are very important to the Amish. They try to be like Jesus Christ. Some Amish might play an instrument in private, like an accordion or a harmonica, but never in public. Singing, however, is a big part of Amish life. They sing at work, at home, and at church. They have a book of hymns that they sing from. They always sing together, not in parts. Singing is popular on Sunday nights, especially for young Amish. They have another book of hymns for that, with faster tunes. They call it the Thin Book. The Amish make beautiful quilts. They work on them together with groups of girls and women. They have fun and chat while they sew. The quilts have colorful patterns, but no pictures of things. The Amish think that's too fancy and proud. The Amish sell their quilts, along with other crafts and baked goods, to tourists and collectors. They make money for their families that way. You might have heard of some of their recipes, like friendship bread and shoofly pie. They were written by Elizabeth Coblins, who was an Amish cook. Her recipes were in many newspapers and books. The Amish kids go to school in one room with one teacher. They only get until 8th grade. That's okay by law. They learn how to read, write, and do math. They also learn about their history and how to farm and take care of the house. The Amish want their kids to stay in their faith, but sometimes they don't. Some kids join other churches that are less strict. The Amish say they got their hair cut. Some kids leave the faith completely. The Amish say they win English. Some kids have a time when they can try new things before they decide what to do. It's called Rumspringa. Most of them choose to join the church. The Amish don't get involved in politics or wars. They don't like violence or fighting. They also don't use Social Security or insurance, but they help each other when someone is in trouble. They will go to doctors and dentists if they need to, but they don't use electricity or cars. They try to keep away from the world as much as they can. They live in a simple and peaceful way. This was the shocking history of the Amish society. They are a unique and fascinating group of people who have survived and thrived in the modern world. What do you think of their way of life? Do you admire them or pity them? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos. Until then, stay curious and stay tuned.